Om Shanti. Good evening and welcome, soul to soul. So we're going to look at Be a Wise Soul. With the power of knowledge and realization. So to be wise, you need information. And you need to have a good look at the information to realize how the information works. And then to realize how you could actually use that information for, first of all, self-benefit. So what is spiritual knowledge? What is it? We know so much about the physical world, about our bodies, our surroundings, but we don't know so much about I, the soul. I am a soul, the light in the center of the forehead. I'm a being of energy. That's what we look at when we look at meditation. I'm not the body, I'm the soul that gives power to the body. So if I could think in that way and even take that on board, this would change everything. My perspective in life is totally new when I think like this. This knowledge can make me wiser, but only if I practice living life from this spiritual viewpoint. I can't just think, well, I heard that. Oh, when did I hear that? What was it I heard? I need to start looking at myself as the power that actually gives me life. Because then, when I realize that I am a soul, I can have quite a healthy form of stepping back a little and looking at what's happening around me. And this begins to develop and I'm not so affected by the ups and downs of life. It's more like, it's not so harsh. Things take on a different vibration. I'm a guest in this body, I'm the energy living in this body. And if I was to think, what is a guest? A guest is light and easy. Because nothing belongs to the guest, so they take all the hospitality and they're usually looked after and given all the comforts. But the house or the place that they live in doesn't belong to them. So I begin to understand the meaning of spiritual love. Because I can begin to start to love myself more. And as wisdom develops, the tests in life seem like little gifts to help me. This is interesting, really, but that which I would feel daunted by, suddenly I think, oh, this is showing me something. This can actually help me a bit, so things that were maybe a little bit daunting can now feel like a bit of a lift because I'm understanding something I didn't really understand before. So I can keep flying with the wings of courage, so I can keep myself buoyant and feel it's okay, I can take another step, I'm doing fine. I can keep going, I'm okay. And the more I think like this, the more okay I will become. But when I'm attached to something, like, oh, this is not, oh no, I don't like that. No, this is the way, this is how it should be. No, don't, oh, who are they? What's happening there? When I'm attached to something, I'm terrified that it will change, and I'm terrified to lose something, and therefore I feel weighed down. And attachment brings me down, whereas courage makes me feel as if I'm flying. So let me have an attitude of being a guest. And I can share skills, talents, wisdom and virtues without growing more ego and arrogance. Like I am right, I'm always right, this is what I say, this is how it should be. I know better. No, I don't need to be like that. I just have to keep looking inside and see, don't go there. Because when I feel I'm a guest, it's nothing to do with me what their dishes are like, or whether they have the right cutlery or not, or whether this is what they're giving me to eat. This is actually what I came for, and so this is what they're giving me, and so I wouldn't dare tell them how to run their house. So when I feel I'm a guest, I feel light and free. And others won't feel indebted to me. They won't feel they have to try and placate me, keep in with me, giving them stress and strain, fall over their feet to please me. No, I'd be a good guest. I just accept what's what. And I don't try to hold things or people and make them belong to me in the wrong way. Because if I do this in the wrong way, people take stress and strain from that. See people in front of me as also as souls. And recognize that every soul is a child of the one above, the divine. And there, but for fortune, I wouldn't be feeling like a guest at the moment. I would still be arrogant and egotistical and struggling. But daily meditation keeps my awareness topped up. Keeps me having courage and faith in myself. We're not creating a negative account when we're like this. I don't need people to give me all their attention. They can have their attention to sort out themselves. They don't need to focus on me to make me feel that I'm special. Whatever I have, I can share with others, and it's wise to check that I'm not expecting a return, because people don't have the energy to keep pleasing other people. So can I help others to feel more free? Everything is energy, and energy comes and goes. Attachment can seem very appealing, so I need to be alert and check my attitude over and over, because we feel that it gives us attention. It makes us feel maybe I'm right, maybe I'm so special, and people are starting to really love me more. Oh, I don't want that, because I'm taking their energy and I don't need it if I'm replenishing my own. I'm not needy anymore. Who is mine? The divine is mine, the one above. I can feel the power and the belonging to that one. And everyone else is a soul like me. They're like my brother. So it's wise to be free, to act free, to feel free, to not try and take up other people's energy, which takes them away from being free and peaceful. They're so busy trying to please you. So be wise and be free, and thereby allow others to be free. So we're not creating a negative account, and we don't need people to give us all their attention. And whatever I have, I can share with others, but I should check that I'm not feeling so smart and wanting people to give me a return on how nice I am to them in the wrong way. Because everything is energy, it comes from the soul. And energy comes and goes. It can turn negative at any time. When I'm arrogant and egotistical, then my energy has turned negative. Yes.
Can I ask something about the wisdom to know when to say something and when not to? I'm thinking about opinions and how everybody has their own opinion on a situation or an event or something, and sometimes it feels like it's appropriate to share that opinion, and sometimes I think there can be a tendency to overshare. So how would you use wisdom to check, is this the right time to give my opinion, or is this the right time to just keep it to myself?
Well, it depends. People are complex, and there's a lot of different ways you can go on that, because people are all different. But for myself, I try to just accept, basically, unless it's way off beam and totally like treacherously dangerous for everyone involved, then I might quietly try and slip in something that might be a better track. But my own experience is very rarely do people take the better track, so but you would feel better that you did it, that you said something better rather than watch them fall off the edge of the cliff. You actually said, look, there's a little trail down there, you'd be better if you go down that way. And then they fall off the edge of the cliff. Well, that's because they had their own opinion very, very firm. And I think also it's quite good to hear the opinions of others, because they feel better having shared with you, and it gives you a clearer idea of how to respond. So mostly it's very straightforward, I would say, in my experience. And it's nice to hear where people are coming from. And it's very friendly and relaxing, and it creates quite a nice rapport and bonding of hearing where people are coming from. And people can't jump to understand in a second what spirituality is all about. But you can see that someone is so much trying to understand, or that and if they share that they've changed their life even a fraction, it's lovely. It's absolutely beautiful. And then if sometimes people say things that are completely, even before you looked at spirituality, you would have said, what are you talking about? This is absolutely ridiculous. So absolutely not helpful to them or to anybody else. But my experience is, even if you do say that, if they've made up their mind, they won't change it. Very, very rarely can you stop people from going to where they're going.
That's interesting, thank you. This whole theme of energy as well, the wisdom to kind of become self-sufficient, really. It seemed to be about becoming independent.
Yeah.
And really get away from this constant neediness of wanting attention and others to tell me I'm okay. Do you find meditation has helped?
Definitely. Because it's quite natural to want to, we think it's to be loved and to fit in and to be useful and to be seen as useful, and that's all okay. But if I'm really absolutely can't live without that kind of praise, then what am I going to do when people stop giving me it? Because they do. Because after a while, no matter how fresh a friendship is or a relationship is, we start to take each other for granted. And we might even think nice things about someone, but we're too lazy to tell them. I think they know. They know that I think they're wonderful. Oh, I can't keep telling them they're wonderful all the time, but the other person's desperate to hear these things. But you see, the desperate to want to hear that we're needed and everything is a habit. So if I can tell myself to get, cool that habit down, because it's just giving me a bit of torture inside. And then it gives a lot of waste thoughts, like this one doesn't like me anymore, or no matter what I do doesn't please them, or oh gosh, what's the point, and worry and stress comes from that. So you can't shut someone down. It's quite a delicate balance between not wanting to draw their attention and shutting them down, because you don't want to take their energy. You cannot shut them down. You have to have a friendship, and it has to be for good reasons, that you really respect them, you really think they're wonderful, you really want to make everything kind of very natural. And if you're in close connection with someone, you have to let them see that you appreciate and respect whatever it is they do. And there's no point in thinking, well, but they know it, and they do everything, and they're so self-sufficient, and they're fine. No. There has to be some form of interaction, but make it a good interaction, and don't make them more and more needy of you. But don't you take them for granted. It's very fine-tuned balance.
Quite alert, constantly watching yourself.
Yeah, because you can think, oh, well, let them get on with it. Oh, they're fine. Oh, I've known them for years. They're okay. But they're not okay. They're thinking beings, and they need, we could call it sustenance. We need to give the sustenance of good feelings to the people around us.
The point about being a guest, in some ways it seems extremely appealing, because everybody loves to go away and be carefree and be the guest. I long to go for a holiday. Everybody used to look forward to going on their holidays. So and when you're a guest, you're accepting, and you're expecting change. You're not expecting to be there forever.
No.
So that's a really nice attitude to have.
Yeah.
Then you take that in the bigger picture. And if you think about being a guest in this body, that's quite something to get your head round, that, you know, we know it, but we don't think about it, that this body's temporary and I'm just a guest, and that it will change. So do you often think about these ideas, and does it not make you feel gloomy, or does it change your perspective, your viewpoint?
Well, when I think that I'm a guest, sometimes I feel it gives me a lot of feelings of newness, appreciation of things that I never noticed before. And when I feel that I'm following this way of interaction and appreciating, I would appreciate my host and hostess. I'd appreciate the company I was in. So it makes me appreciate the body and how useful it is to me, and how I really do have a responsibility to be a good guest, and that is to not cause any problem to my host or my hostess. So it's been teaching me to look after the body. If I was a good guest, I would straighten up my room and keep my room tidy and, you know, not make a mess, and watch that I didn't leave the bathroom in a terrible state so they had to clean up after me, kind of thing. And so it teaches me some inner cleanliness, that this body is my host and my hostess, if you like, and I'm living in it, and I do my best to look after the health of this body, if that makes sense, so that I'm not causing my host unnecessary complications. And when things change a bit, then I'm up for differences. I'm up for change. I think, oh well, it's a wee bit different. Here we are, but I'm out on holiday here, I'm on an adventure, and so it's a bit different, if that makes sense. These are things I think we have to think of very personally inside. Yeah. Okay. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to have a few minutes meditation. And thank you all for being here. I enjoyed tonight. I hope you enjoyed as well. So we're going to look at meditation and being a wise soul. So Om Shanti. So sitting focused, putting our attention to the center of the forehead. And seeing the importance of daily practice of looking at the self and looking at all the different ways that we think, because we do think in a variety of amazingly wonderful ways, and it's up to us to decide, is this useful? Is this quite a good way to think? Or is this a little bit harmful to me? If it's harmful to me, then it's harmful to whoever I'm in connection with as well, because it will be within my attitudes. And so to become wise is also to seek information and to have a good look and study information, and to choose to think about that information and say, how can that help me? Because information is like gold, it's a treasure. And if I'm lucky enough to have this treasure of information, I am a lucky, lucky soul. And to share that good fortune with others through being kindly in my attitudes and by appreciating the energy that people use when they're in my connection. Let me appreciate whatever they're doing, because their whole heart will be there. And so, to develop that spiritual vision of the soul that's in front of me, keep it fresh, keep it new. I think one of the best things ever, and I think this is something I truly practice, no matter how many years go by, I can see the freshness and the newness and the appreciation for others. This is so valuable, even if it doesn't appear to have an effect. The effect is in the self, and it means that appreciation in the self grows stronger and stronger. And so we wish to give that respect and appreciation to those around us. This also has an impact on the world. And daily meditation on the one